Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. It's JHC and Friends. I'm so excited about this episode. Thank you so much, Ingrid Moats, for joining us today. Before I have her start, I wanted to quickly mention that she's a really talented mom entrepreneur who has amazing expertise in math. And she's a teacher, a tutor, and she has been a senior data analyst before. She was a former teacher for over 15 years, but still teaching, it's pretty much continued on with her business, Tampa Bay Preps. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Tampa Bay Test Prep.
Tampa, Tampa Bay Test Prep. Yeah, it's quite wordy.
No, yes. And she's a founder and creator of Tampa Bay Test Prep. So thank you so much for joining us today. Go ahead and just talk to us a little bit about how you started your business, and then of course I'll ask some more questions.
Well, thank you, Julia, for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I started my entrepreneurial journey back when I was like really young. I always dreamed of having a business. I watched my parents, you know, my dad worked on a little bit of an IT business and consulting on the side. And so when I had an opportunity to tutor some people in mathematics, I just thought, oh, maybe this would work out. And so back in 2016, I decided to take it more full time, or at least, sorry, a big grow my tutoring business from being just a side hustle to really seeing if I could develop something that could help students all over, the community or even the nation. And what I didn't realize is that I had jumped in right when online tutoring was starting to get big. So I was at the beginnings of online tutoring. I felt that going back and forth was just too far. The community I live in, every place was about 30 minutes away. And so it'd be really hard to reach as many students as I could in that short time frame. So I jumped online and was helping students with mathematics. And I found that soon I had students all over the country. And it was really, really, really exciting to meet students from all over the country as well as all over the world.
And I didn't mention this, but how we met each other was actually through a Podia accountability group. Is a course creation site. I can't even remember what it was called, but it was a really cool accountability group that we both signed up. And then they matched us with each other, which was really I thought so, like, I feel like we clicked right away when we started telling each other about our entrepreneurial journey and motherhood, and just, like, we related in so many ways. And the other thing that was really neat was that you went to UC Berkeley, right? Am I correct?
I did. I did.
So you lived in Berkeley and I also lived in Berkeley, so I thought that was really cool.
That is super cool. Oh, that we both live in the same state now, and that we both lived in California. That was just a big connection. I was like, that's so awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, so we were just talking about like where we're from originally, and I said, "Oh, I'm from California." She's like, "Oh, I lived in California." I was like, "Oh, wow, where'd you go?" So yeah, so right away, there was an immediate connection, and ever since then, we've just been able to keep in touch. So, did you? If I also remember correctly, you majored in math.
I did. I majored in math at UC Berkeley, and then I went on to get my master's in education at Holy Names. And I love Holy Names. They're closed now, but they were a great school in terms of teaching us so many fundamentals and really caring about students. I think that's one of the things I definitely took away from my experience of being in Northern California, Oakland area, teaching in Title I schools, is that there's so much love for the students and how much we want to see them improve, especially if they've had, and we know that students are going through so much right now. They had a lot of stuff going on in Oakland when I was teaching there. And so, there's a lot of heartache. And so watching students who are able to overcome adversity and being there to that, not just teach them math, but also to encourage them to keep going and pursuing their dreams. That's just something that really resonates with me.
Yeah, no, I mean, living now that I'm a parent, I didn't realize how much my parents had to do to work to survive in the Bay Area. And I mean, just in general, it's not easy. It's not, and education also is a huge challenge there in California. But so obviously, there's a big need for folks like you who care about young people, and with you're a genius in math. I mean, what
Oh
can
my
you? stumbled upon, which was really neat, that you also found the methodology that helps kids quickly learn math. Like
Yes.
you have plenty of testimonials that cover like kids who really struggled, and then now they like after a few sessions with you, they're like they get it, they got it. So
They
tell
do,
me more
they
about
do. It runs the gamut. Like there's a couple like students like for test prep, I had students who were excelling, but they just needed some extra support. So for one example, I had students who wanted to break the top tier on the ACT. They were getting in the high 20s or very, very low 30s. And so in order for them to get past that point, there was either knowledge gaps or there was mentality. Well, we really worked on how do you think about mathematics? I think that's a beautiful thing. It's like, how do you pursue something where you know there's a right answer, but sometimes along the journey, and I feel like this is also real life, right? Along the journey, you're not sure where you're going to go. Like this entrepreneurial journey has been like roller coasters. There's been times where I'm like, husband, I'm gonna like told my husband, I'm like, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. He's like, you actually like what you're doing. Don't give up. It'll be fine. Just it'll turn the bend. So same thing with mathematics. I feel like sometimes you're like, not quite sure what's going to come up next. And you just have to kind of walk through those steps, use the tools you have, use the knowledge you've gained, and then you're able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so I really talked to her about that. And within 2 sessions, her and another girl, they both got the scores that they were looking for. So that was really, really exciting. Yeah, I
wow.
was so super proud of them. They worked hard for it.
I mean, you've been doing this for a significant amount of time, that you even have some success stories of kids going to really good colleges, right?
Yes. So I had a student who, I know it's crazy. I have one student who got into one of the most prestigious boarding schools in the United States for high school. Yeah, Exeter, Phillips Exeter. And we did a test preparation for her that allowed her to, submit her best application. So that was really big. And I had another student who met with me just for 5 sessions, like about a week. And he got into double major medical and bachelor's program. I was like, this kid must have, yeah, blew me away. He was so diligent. And yet, what we just did was we went through. There's another piece that I think that I've been talking about with my students more recently. I've been reading about it again, is going back to the basics. We just went back to the basics. We went through everything systematically. He did exactly what I asked him to do. And within 2 weeks, within 1 week, and then he took the test at the end of the week, he got the score he was looking for to get into a double major program,
Wow.
medical program. Yeah, I was blown away.
So the age range really starts at what point? And then, from youngest to oldest, what is that age range?
So we start as early as kindergarten and we go all the way through college, but we really focus on like high school level mathematics. So if you're in college and you're going back as an adult and you just need extra support in algebra, pre-algebra, up to maybe some calculus, we do support all of that. And the reason why, like I've just talked about test prep, but the reason why we went all the way down to first grade is because even at the higher levels, we're constantly seeing students having gaps. Like there might be the entire course material, the teacher isn't able to get through one section, or the students are a little bit shakier on one of the topics, and it does accumulate. Not, it builds that foundation. It's your house, right? And with the mathematics, you've got the concrete, the foundation on the bottom. And if there's cracks in it, your house is going to tip a little. It's going to be a little rocky. You're going to put the pencil on the table and it's going to roll a little, right? So you're going to see, you got to go back and kind of fix it up. And so what we do is we help shore up the foundation. We, as experts, when we do one-on-ones, we're able to pinpoint the areas that they need and really help them build up. When we have group classes, there's a lot of excitement and interaction. Students get to learn from each other and they get to see what their peers are doing. And sometimes, as much as experience as we have, it's nice to have another peer use the same vocabulary or the wording that makes the most sense to you. So we're big proponents of lots of different options in which you're explaining, and having students explain to students is a great way to do that.
I can see that you're an awesome teacher. Like that's what makes a difference too. If the person really loves teaching and they're passionate about the topic, it makes a difference. And the students want to learn from that kind of person. And I can see that that's why your business has been successful. So it does, you named it Tampa Bay Preps, but you probably have students across the country, right? Like you do virtual sessions, don't you?
Yes. So we started out, I wanted to really serve our community, Tampa Bay Test Prep. And so we do have some students in our community, but we have expanded. So we're actually serving students all over the world. We've had students in Australia, students in Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, Dubai, Germany. I've had a student in Germany before. We've had students in Italy. So super exciting. Our teachers just wake up being so overjoyed that they get to interact with our students all over the world, and they all bring something, and it's fun for the kids to like, hey, I'm going to bed but you're waking up, it's so neat that they're like they get to interact with students all over the world as well.
That's awesome. I mean, that's so much to manage. So it sounds like you have a team too that can help support you. You've been doing this, you've been running your business for how many years now?
So officially we started in 2016, and so like I can do the calculations, but this is about 7 years now. So we're in our seventh year, or going
Wow.
into our seventh year. Yeah, so it's really exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So,
With
okay, and you said I know you wanted to talk about some of the things that you're going to roll out, and there's quite a few things. You have curriculum. I can pull up the visual here for that too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you love to share about what's coming?
So we are branching out. We really want to be a big, big math. Like if you think of math, we want to be like the everyday math. Like you go to Target and that's like math. You go to Walmart, that math. The community math. I want the math to just be like your everyday. You've got some cards, you've got some worksheets, you've got some videos. It really is a simple system. And it's based on, I think you were mentioning, Juliet, it's like based on the top system in the world. So Singapore mathematics, look it up if you have it. But Singapore mathematics has scored the best, has had the best scores internationally. And so I started seeing I could use that to help students who had gaps or needed refreshers or needed to accelerate. And I've been able to help students who like wanted to catch up and build up their foundation. Like over the summer, we covered 3 years of mathematics. I mean, that's like crazy, but we were able to do it because we went through section by section and just filled in the areas that she needed. And we didn't cover every single problem, but we covered everything she needed so she could rebuild her foundation. Just like uh, Florida, we have a lot of sinkholes, right? So we could fill that in and then rebuild the foundation around it. And then she was able to really accelerate. Now she loves mathematics. She
Wow.
always did, but she loves it even more because she can see things she wasn't able to see before.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I struggled with math in general. Like, I think it's a common thing that most people don't enjoy math, but I could
Yeah,
see
yeah.
you making it more fun and more interesting for people. My kids are naturally, they take it from their dad's side. They're naturally good with math, but it's not like they really enjoy it. So of course I'm gonna make sure that they have a session with you because this is
Oh, thank you.
because like I can see them having a lot of fun with it. Especially my younger child who seems to be fine with it, but she's not like, I love it, you know? And I think, like you said, you need to set that foundation. And if you start earlier, it's almost better. Um, and so have you had results where you noticed with the students that you started earlier, what was that like? Like it's almost like they actually probably accelerate pretty fast.
Oh, amazing, amazing. So I had a fourth grade student and a fifth grade student. The fifth, both of them struggled with multiplication. They didn't know the multiplication table. So we taught, it's a team effort. Being a mompreneur, I talked to their mom about what we needed to work on. And so in combination with what the parent was doing at home with the mathematics, like flashcards for multiplication, we just started building up the foundation. And we went in a way that was so systematic, so organized that I was able to bridge her information so that she became in the honors group of her school. Like she was
That's
invited
huge.
to be in honors. Yeah, it was crazy. And once she got that door open to her, and this is the big thing, right? If you want that door open or that you even want the opportunity for that door to be open, once she got that foundation and the teacher recognized that she had not just math ability, but a particular thinking style that we instilled through the sessions, teacher allowed her get into honors. The honors allowed her get into advanced work. right? And that propels her to, in high school, she's also going to be in honors. And her teacher's like teaching her like a year ahead. So that gives her more time to process all the information. And so she'll do better and better. It opens doors to like science honors classes. She feels
Right.
more confident. And so I just feel like, she wasn't even sure at the beginning, but because we were able to work as a team, mom, and me and the student, we were able to give her the foundation she needed so that the other teacher recognized it and gave her more opportunities.
That is so awesome. That is just, like, unheard of that you could take some I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many different ways that people teach math, but it's like, I feel like your approach is so unique, and there's not that many, tutoring programs that have that type of focus and approach, right?
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of tutoring programs use curriculum out there that's already done. But a lot of tutoring programs may not have so my expertise, like I feel, is that I've looked at, you know, at least 30 different curriculums over the course of teaching in the public schools and then also working privately as a tutor. Is I've looked at so many curriculums, and I've decided to pick the best from them, right? And what I found is the one that worked for my son is one of the best. It gave him the perfect score in the ACT. It is one of the top scoring programs. I know.
I forgot
Seriously.
about the detail
Yeah.
that he was perfect.
He got a
That's
perfect score in the ACT, and it wasn't like we only used that one, but that was the core. And then we built everything on top of it. And not only this, unbelievable. My husband, who did not like math, and didn't feel good about math and had tons of math gaps. He was the one who was helping my son with like some of his grading and a little bit of his work. And that program, now my husband, like he's so sharp with multiplication and addition and subtraction, like he can do it in his head, his
What?
estimation. Yeah,
It
and
sounds
then
like
this
I
is
need to
at
do
an
it too.
right as an adult. No, and I'm serious, right? As an adult. And did he do every single question? No, but he did enough that he was checking over the work. And just by checking over the work and talking it through with my son and looking at the corrections, he was able to get such a core piece of this program that it's changed. Believe me, it's changed him forever. He used to be asking us while we were driving in the car. He used to ask my son and I like all the math questions, like do all the calculations. But now I believe like most of the time he just does it himself. Like we'll have conversations about business, and he'll be the one pulling out numbers. Like this is what I think it's going to be. This is what this is our predictions. I mean, it's so practical. As
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, we're constantly having to do that. So I love that he can do that because of the math foundation he got.
I love that. I mean, I sometimes, when you're pitching to an investor or, someone who business is all about the numbers, right? So they're going to
Right.
ask you like, what are the percentages in this and this and this area? So like I could see it bring so much value. Of course, I would rather just hire somebody who's really great at that. That's a good secret that a lot of founders, use, which is hire experts around you to do what you can't do. But that's really cool, and I didn't know that you had a success story with your husband as well.
Yes, yes,
That's great.
because he trusted me to pick out the program, and then he worked with it, and yeah, I was always there to help him answer questions, but he really found it easy to use, and that's another thing about our program. We try to make it as easy and friendly as possible.
I know I shared it a little earlier, but I you had put together some worksheets and even I think the reference here, if I pull it up right
Yeah.
now. So you put together even some curriculum books, didn't you, for your program?
Yes, I did. Thank you so much. I had so much. I got brushed over that. So we have some work on Teachers Pay Teachers. You guys can check it out. And our goal is to have our work up on Amazon, where you can buy our workbooks, especially right. I know, especially this right now for the summer. I would say go get something, right? Not I believe in summer. I loved my summers. I got to spend time at the beach. I got to go swimming. Okay, I got to go camping. I mean, I absolutely loved my summers. But my parents also gave me workbooks and things to do over the summer, which kept me ahead. And just by doing 30 minutes a day or 1 hour a day of keeping your mind fresh, not only does it keep the students from forgetting everything that they learned the last year, but it can get them ahead. And when they're in the classroom, they can feel more confident about sharing what they know with other people and reinforcing what they've learned. So, yeah, workbooks coming and online classes and hopefully a membership. So, super
That's
excited.
so exciting. And I'm gonna pull it up again. That I mean, there's so many cool things that I wanted to share because you mentioned some really cool stories, but also just for people to see themselves, some of the testimonials. Someone said, "Thank you, great class, managed well, good pacing. All the children given a chance to contribute without any one child dominating." That's real. That's another plus. That and to control a group is not the easiest thing. That's one of the biggest challenges for teachers these days.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, you have quite a bit of testimonials. This is on your website, right?
Yes, you can find us on the website, or you can go to our Instagram or our Facebook, Tampa Bay Test Prep, and then you can connect with us on the website. There's a connect button. Just put in your information. We'll give you a call. We actually just got a testimonial, if I could share that came out this week, and it really, really was close to my heart because they talked about how supportive we are as a team. You know, they didn't just see the teacher, but they also they didn't just say anything just wonderful about the teacher, which we are so happy about when they're saying wonderful things about the teacher, but they also talked about the team being supportive. And it is true. We are a team. So myself and then Denise and other people who are on our team, we always try to find out whatever the parent's looking for and help the student best we can. So you're not just getting one person, you're getting all of us.
I'm so excited for you and what's going on. I mean, there's like I know you had mentioned the Singapore mathematics. You find the best parts of different curriculum that you felt like would work well. It's not easy to do. Is this something that you kind of stumbled upon on your own, or is it something that you kind of knew that you wanted to do when you were majoring in math?
I've always wanted to get into education, so this is kind of like my way of giving back. And it's another thing is like I had this dream, right? And I don't want to let go of it. So I'm going to pursue it to the best of my abilities. And so we could be just like a small tutoring company and helping students, but we want to help more students. So we definitely want to grow. We want to provide parents with what they're looking for, easy to use materials, um, worksheets for the summer, online classes, and even like we have a whole aspect of competitive math. And so the last testimonials you put up were actually from our competitive math classes. And we take approach that competitive math is to have the joy of mathematics. It's not about just beating somebody else and trying to be the best in a way that's negative, but it being the best as a way that we can all raise each other up. And so we are like the non-competitive competitive math classes, if you could even imagine that happening, right?
Yeah, that's great.
So when they talk about collaboration, that really is like our theme is learn from each other and everybody grows. And so, yeah, competitive math is beautiful for a student who either loves math and needs to accelerate, or if you want to get students in a good starting point, this is the same type of questions that they'll throw in like tests like SATs or ACTs because it makes them use their brain in a way that you don't necessarily see every day in typical textbook problems. And so you're giving your child an advantage. If you just have them do a summer camp, you don't have to do it all year round, but get them started early on so the brain is used to that kind of thinking and it becomes a natural aspect of what they can use.
That's so cool. So you do all kinds of things, like you said, with the programs, the tutoring programs, or after school. And it sounds like you have something coming up in the summer.
Yes, so this
I
is
mentioned I showed it a little early with the
great.
open
No,
house,
this is
but
great.
yeah.
Last year we did an open house, which was really well received. We were able to walk through our program and tell people more about it. So we are looking forward to doing that again this year. So thank you so much for bringing this up. Virtual opportunity. All you have to do is sign up or let us know that you're interested. And it's about 30 minutes to an hour where we walk you through what the materials are, talk to you, answer questions, and definitely let you know what we're really about. We'd love to have you join us. So catch us online at all of our, social media, and just reach out, and we'd be happy to tell you more.
So then they can find this information on the website and sign up specifically for those different sessions. Is that
Um, we'll do that. We'll go ahead and set that up. But for right
Okay.
now, just contact us and we'll put you on the waiting list. We'll
Okay, great. Yeah.
we'll set that up. Thank you so much.
Or we could just email you like, hey, I want in.
Yes, I know, I know. Sometimes we're really low tech. Email and
Which is
text
fine.
messaging.
Sometimes people overcomplicate things in the beginning. And I know we had talked about that earlier before, we went live that,
Yeah,
entrepreneurs tend to overcomplicate things when we really could be okay with the basics first. And that's, I think we
yeah,
learned that in the beginning. Like we make a lot
yeah,
of expensive mistakes in the beginning.
yeah. We
And then,
try to do so much, right? We try to do everything and we want to do everything. And I've still got dreams. I'm like, I think we talked about this before. I still want to do a children's book. I'd love to do a math program animation because I love those growing up where you could just watch an animation and learn mathematics. Like we would put my son in front of like programs about science and help him to learn about science when he was little because they could go around the world and you could watch what the little duckies or whatever experiments they were doing. So yeah, no, I have big dreams and it's hard to like compress all those dreams into like one small manageable
you can
piece.
do it. You can do it. You'll have math school coming out of you, and then you're just
Yeah,
like, I love that idea. Just having a program and a cartoon series or some sort focused on math. Like, why not? Right?
right,
You'll
yeah,
be the
why not?
first.
It'll be one of many firsts for me, and then hopefully somebody will love it just as much as I do. No, but it's true. Like I can't just do something small. We kind of keep it simple. Like our website, we keep it simple. We try to keep those entrepreneurs listening. The social media, it's been a learning journey to get better and better at some aspects that just aren't my strengths. Like math is a lot more of us my strength, and so we just keep pursuing it. And we've been doing emails for over a year now. We have freebies that we've been giving out every month. I mean, I'm so excited about all the things my team has been able to help me to do because I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. And by pursuing that, little by little and that excellence, I mean, it's I just we can't wait for what the rest of the year is going to bring.
Well, people are gonna have to follow you for sure. Like if and why either they sign up for one of your programs, but they need to follow you in your journey because I could see that you're going to blow up because of your passion and how you want to get this to as many people as possible, to help people with math because math is a major practical skill and form of education that everyone should know about because it's in everything. It's in our lives.
Yeah, it is.
And so, thank you so much for being here today and tell us a little bit more about your story and your business. I'd love to see you in a few. I mean, we're going to see each other sooner than this, but but as far as like
For sure.
having a recap and just like see you after a couple years of what you've developed and talk about like what's happened, you know.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that. It's so much fun talking with you, Julia. I bet we could talk for hours more. So
Oh yeah,
I would love to
we
come
do.
back.
And seriously, it's just like I've told you before, it's not easy to find other mom entrepreneurs, especially when you have to run a small team or just juggle life,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
juggle like everything post COVID. So it was really refreshing to meet someone like you and just so positive, so delightful to talk to every time.
thank
And
you.
having that positive support and just like check in with each other. How are you doing? And you text
Yeah,
me too, and just hearing from another business owner is really, really helpful during these kind of challenging times.
I 100% agree. But I mean, I am beyond grateful that I met you. And
Oh,
yeah, so there's so much more. I mean, well, we've got so much more to share. And so I would love to do that again.
so we'll continue to hold each other accountable for
Yes,
the stuff
for
that
sure, for
we talk
sure.
about. But yeah, no, thank you all for those of you who catch these recordings, and I hope you guys found something really cool. You for your parents out there, you know who to contact. Um, contact Ingrid to help you or your math needs for your teen or your young elementary student. Definitely for those of you who are interested in learning more, go check out her website. And thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast, and then I'll see you on the other side, Ingrid.
Thank you.